I got this new sunglasses and it's been like my newest personality. I've just been like wearing it nonstop. So I'm Cici and I've graduated. I've just graduated high school and oh my god, I wish I can pull the video out.
I'm Cici and I want to go to an art school.
Yes, that was my first video. And yes, I wanted to go to an art school. And guess what? I did. And you know, one thing I realized was like when I was preparing for my portfolio, I was really confused. So I applied to US and UK. The US and UK is very like different in the sense where for the UK, they want to see everything. They want to see your influence, your research, your experimentation, how this project came to life. The US, just send them your best work. That's really what, I'm not even fucking kidding, that's what they asked me to do. But today it will mainly be about the UK because it was my top choice at the time. So, and yeah, oh my god, I'm getting distracted. But what I'm saying is like, when I was preparing for my portfolio in the beginning, it was like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't have a reference of how my portfolio should be. Like, the requirement was really vague, so I didn't really know, except for like the maximum pages you're supposed to have and what they want to see. Like, oh, they want to see your background research. They want to see your influence, your work progress. And some people I know, they get their portfolio done in those like really professional art institutions. I couldn't pay that much money for it, so I made my portfolio from scratch. So it's, you can tell it's not professionally done, but it's not supposed to. Oh my god, it's not supposed to. And so I was looking at like reference from like other people that done it, and bro, I'm not even fucking kidding, there were like 2 videos in total. I think it's also because my course is a little, it's not always talked about, photography, and especially, I don't know, like why is everyone gatekeeping? I was so desperate at the time, so I thought maybe this might help to whoever is applying to art school next year, this year. But do keep in mind my course are photography or fine art photography, so if you're not that course, this might not really be the video for you, but I could give you some suggestions about how you should approach your portfolio, or at least how you should create one. Now, you don't have to take it, you don't have to take my advice, you can just look at it for reference, or you can just look at it for, I don't know, aesthetic value, but you don't need to take it. At the end of the day, it's your choice. My credibility, I got into all of these schools, so you know, take it or leave it, your choice. I don't care. So let's get into it. So for UK, you apply through UCAS and you have 5 choices. Now, I do not recommend anyone to follow my mentality and my mindset because it's very risky. But I'm the type of person that if I want something, I'll make sure I get it. Like, I'll make sure I achieve it. I'll make sure there's no fucking chance for failure. So originally, I was only gonna apply for UAL. I know, that's really risky. I didn't have any safety schools, but my mom was like, girl, don't do it. Like, don't do it. You're gonna regret it for the rest of your life. Don't fucking do it. Ultimately, I applied for UAL, photography course in LCC, fine art photography in Camberwell, fine art photography in Glasgow School of Art, and photography in Leeds University of Art. I created the portfolio for the fine art photography in Camberwell first because the requirement for that was a maximum of 30 slides. For photography in LCC, it was a maximum of 20 slides. And then for Glasgow, it was a maximum of 15 slides. And then for Leeds, it was like, I think I just sent them 7 images. I mean, there was still, it was like 7 slides. But you get like, so I worked on the one that required the most effort first, and I used that as like a basis for my other portfolio. So all my portfolios stem from that one portfolio, but then there's adjustment made. I think the biggest issue for me when I was creating the portfolio is like, how do I like create the project? Like, I didn't really know what format and how I should approach it. So I did it by separating the portfolio into 4 projects. So in all of my projects, I make sure I have a few artists research and artists that influenced me for this project, and I try to find different artists to show like a variety of technique and element and a variety of concepts and skills. And other than the project, I will also save some slides at the end for like external works. So maybe for fine art, it would be like other medium like charcoal, ceramics, collages that are not really relevant to photography, but it's relevant to art. Whereas for photography, I would put more emphasis into individual images and solo shots that are not part of the project, but I like them. Another thing is I am very bad with names, so they can be quite cringe. I hate names. So this is my first project. I had my artist research here, and then this is the title. You can see like my artist research, these are images from the artist, and this is an image that I took. So I think play around with how you compose your presentation in each slides. I did all of this on Google Slides, by the way, nothing crazy, just Google Slides. There is no like, you need to put your final image in the last slide. It's completely free. It's completely up to you. Some people like to show their final outcome on the first slide. Some people like to show their final outcome on the last slide. Some people like to show it like me in between each slide and show a little snippet, but then I have my final outcome on the last slide. But it's all up to you. This is just how I chose to portray it. And also, you don't really need a title page. You don't need to like, oh, this is Cici's artist portfolio. First, it's gonna waste your like slide limit, and also it's really not worth it. Just bang, like hit them with something, okay? Hit them with something. Also make works that you're proud of and you like. Some people might look at this and be like, I don't get why it's good. And I'm like, well, I don't care about your opinion. I like it, and I'm like proud of it, and I think it's good. So I don't care. Have that attitude and have that approach when you're making and building a portfolio. So this is my next slide, which is experimentation. You see, I didn't put a lot of text, honestly. It's just a lot of images. You can see that my intention for this slide is experimenting with wrappings around the lens and taking photos. So these are not my final things. And again, the background is a photo that I took, but I put it as the background to kind of create that really cute composition. You don't need a lot of words. You really don't need. Just let your image speak for itself. So the next one is also experimentation. So I took all of these with flash, but I put like the color sheet in front of the flash and create these effects. It's really cool. I really like these. And again, the background image is my image, and then my last one is black and white. Now, you know what's the worst part about this was when I was creating these 3 slides, like if you put this on like presentation mode, if you click between all 3, it's actually like a roll of film, you know? It's like a little, it's like a film, bro. I was so proud of that creation, but then when you put that on Pebble Pad, it didn't really work, so whatever. Next is my development and layout. So you can see that it was actually a series of photos that I took. I actually printed all of these photos out, and I placed them on a wall, like completely different layouts. So you have some that are all like in black and white, some that are like with colors, you know, some that have some negative space in it. This is what it is, development layout. That's it. And you have the image to show it, so you really don't need like additional words. I mean, you could, but that's what I did for this one. And then this is my final product. I did explain in the text box that I chose my layout and I printed them on tissue paper. Yes, I did. I'm very proud of that. So you can see that they have those really cool texture that is shown that only exists on tissue paper. This is my first project and I'm really proud of it. So I put like a really good project in the beginning to bang, hit you with a banger. And this is my second project. And yeah, these are my images. So you can see for the first project, I showed my image alongside an artist research, but for my second project, I just went straight into my images. And then I have my artist research, and here is like a small summary of what I was influenced by. And then this is my response to the research. So some test, trial shot, experiment shot. These sketches, they took me like fucking 2 minutes. I drew them like spontaneously during my psychology class with my friend because she was my model. So I was just like drawing a simple, clear idea of showing her what I want her to do, you know? So they're not pretty, they're not like fully perfect, but it's fine, bro. It's fine. It doesn't need to be perfect. I literally had to like dug deep into my backpack to find this paper because I was like, oh my god, I need like sketches for my portfolio. And I just remember I did that in psychology and I just took it out and I just scanned it on my note. And then yeah, experimentation. Look, don't worry. I wrote why I took these like close up shots in the text box. I just didn't write them on the slides, but yeah, I kind of experimented with different white balance and with flash and no flash and just like different lighting and all that to create this weird and uncanny and unease. And so for development, finally, I wrote a bit more because there was a lot that I was going to talk about. So I chose to do installation because I view Baby Mobile as a physical manifestation of something that is there to protect you by having all of these vulnerable and very discomforting images and choosing a Baby Mobile as the physical canvas to hang these photographs. And yeah, and another thing I should think you can consider if you're doing photography is that you could always photograph. You don't just manipulate with techniques and like shutter speed and ISO and all that. Manipulate with the final outcome. How are you presenting your photograph? Like that's a really important thing. And with your portfolio, just play with it. And it doesn't just apply to photography as a medium. If you're doing other mediums as well, think about how you're presenting it at the end. It can be anything, literally anything. Also, like this, I also printed my photos in tracing paper. So, and you can also incorporate videos into your portfolio, okay? Don't just have static images, have some video. Even though this really isn't that good of a video, it was just a video of the final presentation. It will give the people in the university that's viewing your portfolio a better understanding of how your product is viewed in life. And you take your photos from different angles. So I have one from like down, and there's also close up. Just make sure they're different. Okay, now my third project. I love this project. This one is solely image based, but I absolutely adore this project. So this is me playing with Photoshop. So you can see, like, with each project I want to do something different. You can definitely choose a cohesive topic and a cohesive themes that, you know, that weave in all 4 of your project, or all, I don't know how many projects you want. But for me, I want to show something different. And I think because from me showing something different, it shows the universal theme of my experimental approach to my portfolio, because I'm doing something different for each project. And it's something that is very heavy and it aligns very well with my artistic values, is that I love experimenting and I love trying new things. Moving on, so you know, I have my artist research and I have my mood board. All of these are from Pinterest, so like don't be stressed. I actually saw this artist in real life. I went to this exhibition with my school for like a field trip. I was so intrigued by this artist, and I love his work. So I actually did a response to his image, which led to the creation of this project. Contact sheet is really important. So if you're doing photography, make sure you include contact sheet. Like, I didn't include it for all of my project, I only included it for this project, but include contact sheet for your work process. It's really, really helpful. So that's my experiment, that's my work process. And then it was my development with Photoshop. I cropped the subject from each photo and I put them on like either a complete white background or a complete black background, and I just play around with literally making the composition. And I think that's so fun, because for this project it was more on the curation of an image. Instead of like the conventional understanding of a photograph where you take what you see, this is kind of defying and overturning that approach by completely creating an image. I create different composition manually, and also have like the use of repetition, the use of, you know, leading lines, rules of thirds, all of that, and just having fun with it. Because at the end of the day, the project's called Mind of a Child, so literally just have fun with it. It's a very light and very bizarre and creative project for me. This is something that I have the most fun making, and I'm the most proud of, because it is just so experimental without any external experiment. My last project is called Ephemeral. So I think for my last project, it is definitely less, I would say it's less creative. It's still creative, but I think these are all individual shots that I've took over the years. This project is very personal to me because I like photography, because I remain observant. I literally wrote here, I remain observant, fixated on a single moment, the movement of a candid action. And these are all photos that are taken either on my EOS, on my Canon camera, or on like my digis, or on my film. There are a variety of photos taken on different camera at different stages of my life, but they all come together, whether it's through their color or it's through their sense of movement. It all comes together. You can see that this is such a cohesive project, but they weren't meant to be cohesive. They're all individual shots, and I put them all together, and I love, and I really, really love the layout for this one. It's so beautiful, and I was so proud of this layout. I was like, damn, this is so gorgeous. But because it needs to be a project, I had to bullshit some shit up. So this was my experiment and development. Okay, can I be honest? The truth was, I created this image on accident, because these two images, I really like them. So initially I was just playing around with how I should lay them out, and then I accidentally put the image on top of this, and it blends in, like it just blends in. And when I looked at it, I was like, damn, wait a second, wait, that's so good. Wait a second. I didn't mean for that to happen, but damn, it just blends. Look at that fucking tree. Look at how, these are two, mind you, these are two completely separate, different fucking images, but they blend in so seamlessly that I had to include this in my portfolio. But I couldn't just include it, you know, like and I need a project. That's why I started bullshitting this shit. Like, the truth is, it really wasn't that difficult. It really wasn't that complicated. I didn't went through a whole project to do this. I didn't experiment. I didn't do these development. I did this like last minute, bro. I was backtracking. Like, I created the final outcome first, and then I backtracked to my intention. No one says you can't backtrack. They're not gonna know. Well, they might know now because I'm gonna make this video public. But like, yeah, you can backtrack completely. Because sometimes you actually create photos on accident, but I can't say, hey, I created this photo on accident. You know, I just can't say that. And yeah, so that's why this slide is really lacking. But because my other slides are very good, I was like, it's fine. It's fine. The slide can be lackey. It can be a little bad. It's okay. And these are my other works. So I did photograms, I did analog photography, and like I said, I really like to experiment. So I have done different images printing on different materials. I've done receipts, I've done newspapers. I've also tried creating images through my printer. I also did cyanotype. This is not very successful, but you know, it's okay. But they just want to see a variety of experiments, okay? And then, like I said, because it's fine art photography, I did also other mediums. So I have my charcoal drawings, I have my ceramic mask, I have like red ink pen sketch, and I also have like photo printed on paper. This was a really cool photo because this paper was initially like a poster, and then this image was so pretty and just printed on top. And I also did lino printing, mixed media collages, poster collages, and oil painting. If you're gonna showcase your other works, do it in a creative way. I chose to put these 5 pieces together because they all have that kind of retro and vintage 90s aesthetic to it, with the neon light, the colors, the Japanese poster, old movie poster, and the cassette tape. So like these images, even though they're completely different works, completely done separately, but they come together cohesively because they just share that retro aesthetic to it. These drawings is like, there's that sense of interconnection because you see this charcoal drawings about like jellyfishes, and I have a jellyfish here, and you also have the jellyfish, like the lines of it's tentacles. Anyway, it's like those little threads, the stings, not the sting. These lines kind of goes with the mask too, because you have this really thin yarn that's like going through the holes of the mask, connecting it, and then you have this like chain that's literally about interconnectedness and connection. So it comes together, and so that was my fine art photography portfolio. So that was also just the basis for all my other portfolio, honestly. And then here on Pebble Pad, you can see that it's literally what I've shown you, but like I have like additional text in the bottom that kind of have more. You see, I have like more explanation. You have more explanation on what I've done, and yeah, you see, so that it's like, it makes sense. It's just when I was showing you guys the slide, it doesn't really make sense, but I have the text. Don't worry guys, I have the text. It's just that I put them in the text box below. Yeah, so that's my fine art photography, but I've been speaking for too long. Let's drink water, bro. And I'm low on battery, guys, so I'm gonna like I'm like really gonna like rush through it. Okay, for photography, it's basically the same thing. Literally, it's the same. It's just I cut down a lot more stuff. So instead of using Reverie as my first project, I use Girlhood, and it's literally the same thing. And the only difference is my other works. So you see, for my fine art photography, for my other works, I put more like art mediums and, you know, art stuff. But for this, it's more like landscape photography, because I was really good at landscape photography. And then I also have some portrait. They're done in the landscape format, but they're portrait. That is all for UAL. So those are all my portfolio. For Glasgow, it's literally the same thing. Let me just show you Leeds first, actually. So yeah, they literally just told me to like, oh, write your name, your number, and your course, and then you attach something, and it's literally, this is all I attach. I just chose some of my favorite from my fine art photography slides and just call it a day. So I only did 6 slides. You can see how it really just went from 30 to 20 to 6. I'm like rushing through it right now because my camera's running out of battery and I really don't want to record again, so please just bear with me. Please bear with me. Like, I really, trust me. My Glasgow one, it's literally the same thing. It's literally the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Look, it's literally the same thing. And yeah, but then it's just I have to combine so much stuff into one slide. So this is usually like 2 slides, but then I combined it, and yeah, same thing, and yeah, same thing guys, same thing. It's literally the same thing. And then just my others. So yeah, that is all for my UK portfolio. That's all I did. Those were my portfolio. And any final suggestion, just do what you want. Like, literally, don't be so stressed about it. Think of it, if you really don't know how to do the format, then I'll just give you like a basic, like artist research, ideation, experimentation, development, and final outcome. But it doesn't have to be strictly based on that. You can also alter a bit, but it's basically, ultimately, it's kind of like that for each project. That's how I did it. You don't have to copy me, but like, you don't have to take that advice, but you know, that's how I did it. If it simplifies and kind of maybe make you less confused about what you should include in your portfolio, just do that. And just be yourself. Honestly, just be yourself. And if you're doing photography, don't just show good photos. You also have to tell them that you can compose well images through your slides. Think of each slide as an image and you're creating it. Like, you have to think of how you're going to lay out the fonts, the colors, how is it going to go cohesively, how does it stay consistent throughout each project, so they can tell that it's a separate project and you're not meshing into one. And also always put your best project in the first, and because you want to surprise them. And I think that's it. I'm really gonna end the video now because I really don't have battery. If I have anything that I missed, I'm gonna probably film about it tomorrow. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye. Hello, me again. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, but I completely forgot about interviews. I completely forgot about that. So yes, you may be asked to do an interview. I was asked to do an interview for Glasgow and Camberwell, but if you're asked to do an interview, do not worry. Literally do not worry, because literally if you're asked to do an interview, that means they're already interested in you. At least that was the mindset I was going into. And if you go in with that mindset, I can 80% promise you that you're gonna get it. I don't want to make anyone freak out. I don't want to make any promises, but when I did my interview for Glasgow, I got the offer the next day. For the interview that I did for UAL Camberwell, I got the offer on the spot. Like, they gave it to me on the spot. So like, don't worry. Literally, don't be scared about interviews. If they ask you to do an interview with you, that means they're already interested in you, but they just want to know more about your work. Okay, so it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. The interview are like the typical question, like, oh, what influenced you? Talk to me about your project. What do you do in your free times? Blah blah blah. Just be natural, have fun. It's a fucking interview. Like, just don't be too stiff and be normal. Be polite. If they ask you how are you, you ask them how are you back, and say thank you so much for spending your time with me. Thank you so much. You know, say that and explain yourself. They're all nice. They want you to be at ease. Seriously, don't be stressed out. And yeah, I think I didn't miss anything else. Yeah. Okay. Bye guys.